So it's about 6:30 right now, and looks like the pre-Good Friday trade, it's Thursday, but is going to be pretty slow. We're in a pretty narrow range, about less than a 20-point overnight range, and real light volume. We're right in value and in range from yesterday, and right at the point of control of the overnight session. So we've come down and held this area from yesterday's, this LVN area. So I'm looking to, we've already kind of taken out these lows, have some weak highs above, and looking to be trading up higher if possible. And that's about it. It's pretty straightforward this morning. Higher time frame, I've discussed this previously, but we have held so far this large value area and range below. We've tested down into here a couple of times, and now it looks like we will most likely test the top side of range. We are kind of trying to come back up into this value area, previous day's value. So we may come lower and stay in this value, or possibly break these highs, which is definitely, my expectation is that we do come up at least and try to test and hold this range in here. But and that's what I'll actually be trading for this morning. But we have weak low below here as well, so really can go either way. Here's the 5-minute. This is the structure that we're holding, this LVN from yesterday's profile. And in the short term, that's what I'll be looking to take out, these highs. And really we have weakness up, and this does not appear to be a very strong high either. So taking a short 44.35.50 to break these lows. Expectation would be to come down at least into this 44.23 area. And we have a little bit of volume coming in here right in front of this weak low. It's not starting off very good response there. We had a little bit of volume, but I'm going to hold this through the break. See if we can get this flush. Little bit of increased volume. There's quite a few longs in here. Order flow is looking like there's a potential to push out these longs. We'll be targeting the break of the low, target 31.25. Good push and response there. Gonna watch and see how we treat these lows. If we can flush and push them out. No real crazy volume coming in yet. Took a little bit of drawdown on my entry, but not really seeing any kind of response from the buyers here yet. We really could see lower prices all the way down into yesterday's LVN around the 27.75. That would be a even better target. Quite a few trapped longs in this market now, in my opinion. Just don't really want to see a reversal here. Gotta allow the retest of these trapped buyers. Still not really any kind of limit buying coming in. All right, let's see if we can flush. And this was the area that I was talking about. Really, we could get all the way down to the 13 even, I would say. Low has been taken. Increase in volume. Still nothing too crazy. That wasn't really that good of a flush. We should be able to break this here. It's just very slow trade. We really want to see these buyers get pushed out of this market, but that wasn't really much of a reaction on the liquidity down below here, so little bit of increased volume. And possible that I get taken out. I have to allow the retest. My entry is not in a great location though either. I got to get a little lucky now. Just taken out to the tick +1 right here. 2 contracts traded. So just slow trade. Possibly could have left my stop just slightly above at this LVN, expecting this volume to hold, but I did not. So retrace came up to 36.50, so a point above my entry. Limit buyers coming in here now. Order flow looking now like the sellers are making an effort. Didn't really get too far, and then some limit buying coming in here. So this is an area that I'd be watching for a reversal to get long to take out the highs, but I'm not really convinced of that yet because we're right at this LVN from yesterday's trade and we could easily push lower. So since I took my trade off, I just now have to just watch this. 6 points below now my entry. That's typical for how I've been trading lately. Context and read is absolutely spot on, but management is just not good. And this is just a reaction to pulling some more, basically pulling some more longs, and then the spike down trapping these longs, stopping out these longs, and a little bit of absorption, but seller's definitely in control at that point. So I don't know if we reverse here or continue lower. We certainly could continue lower, but now we're below this LVN and holding from below, and definitely downside is likely. Kelly took the trade right here at the 630 pop and didn't move higher. Immediately reversed, and he was already in at the very top and got 8 points for this whole move down. Beautiful trade. I did not get to participate in any of that, unfortunately. We still have order flow that hasn't really confirmed a blow off of the longs. We still have longs trapped in here. This limit buyer is now stuck, and until something changes, I'm still looking to the downside, further downside, until we see that this order flow kind of correct and all of this long covering in this area. I'm short 21, and I don't really love my trade location, but I'm hoping that we hold below this volume. I liked the trade here, and then we got this big drop, and now we pushed up. So I need this to go here fairly quickly. I don't want to get stuck on the wrong side of this trade, being that obviously my trade location is not ideal, but I like it. Need to go. Yeah, that's not a very good response yet, but yeah, not good. Gonna have to kill this trade. Yeah, I'm the trap trader on this one now. Gotta hold. I'm reducing. I just took it off. 23, 2 points of loss there. Let's see if I I'll reevaluate on the push of this high here. I think this was a little bit of a trade where I was feeling like I missed out on this drop, and then the issue is that we already took this liquidity of these lows. So to enter again here on a pullback makes somewhat sense, but I think I should have just passed on it. And now we have the order flow pop, and Kelly just took a 20 tick trade on this one, and I was short at the completely the wrong area. And now I don't really have anything for the shorts actually above structure now, with an expectation that we're kind of in a weird area of this LVN, so we could move lower, but now we have these trapped shorts here. So until we get back down and see some kind of really big increase in buying or increase in selling, or some strong limit selling here, I don't really have the shorts on the table anymore. Possibly even a failure of the lows. We also have these biggest volume of the day limit buyers in here. They bought here again, and then they bought here again, stopped this move. So not ideal, not a very good short. But I didn't take a very big loss. If it just went, which it did not, it would have been, I had a nice target down to the 13 area. So what happened is we came up into this LVN here, reversed, limit selling up here, trapping some more late longs, and the reversal. Issue with this trade now is a huge, obviously 10-point stop or so absorption at the lows. I still think that there is short side potential, but trade location is not ideal at all. So possibly we'll see what happens in here, but trading back into this highest limit buyer of the day as well. Limit buying here, so what do you do? There's not much I can do here. I'm long 25.25. See if we can pop through these tops. Holding the LVN from above now. And right at my entry, we'll see. There's definitely some buying absorption happening. That's we got to see a push through this area. See if we can wear out these sellers. Testing the absorption. The shorts aren't able to really get anything going here. A little bit of a battle. Right at my entry. Be possible that I get ripped out of this lower before moving higher, but it's pretty light volume as well, so don't like this entry really very much now. Not good. Likely to rip me out and soak up more liquidity. There's my loss. That's frustrating. Terrible entry on this one. No reaction at all. taken out again. Pull back to my entry, and we're holding. Short 22, was going to get 23.25, but am I going to get just chopped up in this market? But I'm going to go with my read that the buyers couldn't cut it, so we'll see what happens. Buying the low side of this range into this limit buyer, so that's a real nice response now. Or maybe this buyer continues to accumulate here. I don't know, but I like my position now, even though I chased it down. Oh man.
Am I going to buy it out of here? Is this where the high probability trades are going to be? Right, with a big limit seller, right, a limit buyer right here, pushing up into fresh structure and selling
Let's
off.
see if I can get it down.
The market's still set to break these lows. I would say yes.
Limit buying coming in now again.
This is not where the opportunity is.
Or we're just in balance, and I'm gonna continue to trade and get jerked around. But this stuff is gonna get worn out eventually. It's just, can I be on the right side of it and get the trade to work out in my favor? But now it's looking like this is not gonna work out again. Not good. Gotta hold this volume from below. And that's another break even. Jesus. I'm long 44.08 with looking to just have a move for a push up into the 44.1375. Not the best low down here, but I had quite a significant absorption from the buyers here. Weak low here, and looking for it to take out the top side. Definitely needs to hold that volume now. It has not held, and we're not really seeing any strong buying coming in, so I'm not feeling very good about this trade, obviously. We need to see some buying coming in here. I gotta kill this trade, or rather than even take the full loss, but gotta push above this volume now. Doesn't look good. Have a little bit of absorption coming in right here. If I survive this pullback, it's really I just got lucky, I think. No, this is not. Fuck. It's a loss. It's a really piss poor trade, honestly. I'm just frustrated. I should have just stopped for the day. But we have this week low here. Not really seeing any kind of large buying here. We did have some, but then the limit selling here is where this push came to, and that's what I entered on. So I mean, that was likely to hold, and now we've spiked lower. And I fully expect that this low will be taken out. I'm long again, 0750. Came down below this, it did not hold from below. And Same idea and concept to go up to the top of the range. What I don't like about this trade is that I do have this fairly weak low in trade here that is potentially could get spiked out. Or even, you know, to target that. But now we're having some limit selling coming in right here. So if we don't push above this, this trade is also in trouble. It's got to hold this volume now. No. Did have some limit buying coming in. And see if we can push above here. My de-risk really isn't until a break of the top side of this range. It just seems very weak. It doesn't seem like the sellers have much strength. But I'm also not in a very good position being in front of this weak low. So I just don't really have a great place to de-risk now without giving this a little chance to work out. That limit buying below that is the only way that can save me on this trade in my opinion. But last chance. And that's a bad response. Pulling back to that volume now. The buyers are here. That, like, it makes sense that this low would get spiked anyway. So I'm just basically crossing my fingers hoping that this holds, which is not a very good position to be in. This next push up, if it doesn't go, I gotta kill the trade. It's a fine line. It's a real fine line. Definitely some volume on the bid that's holding, being absorbed. 243 contracts at 0775 that continue to absorb there. If that buyer continues to stay there, I would expect us to see higher prices. But my position is not very good. Kind of a two-way battle here in slow trade. It's going to go and test that 0675 again. It's kind of sitting at this price now. Trading that now. Still there, reloading. Continues to trade. Hasn't pulled. If that trades and through, I'm in big trouble. And it's coming back to that price again, still trading. Trading. Still there, reloading. This thing's going to go one way or the other. If I can get a pop through here. That volume is just sitting there. A little more comfortable now, but you know, I'm not going to slam it to break even here either. There should be an order flow release above these tops. But it's just, you know, back and forth. If it comes back to this trade again, that's not a good sign. Still is, that volume on the bid is there, but it looks like it's going to trade through this time. Seems to be, yep, it's just traded. Traded through. That's not a good sign. It's got to hold here now. Whoever bought all those contracts at that price, though, is expecting higher prices. I soaked up a lot of orders in that area. 0775 now. Order flow really isn't doing much. It's fairly neutral here, but I'm gonna hold the trade idea. Just the worst price here, right where this two-sided trade is. It's not great. Not really any crazy limit selling, so that doesn't make me feel too bad about this. So there's the release, and you can see I just didn't hold the trade. I got freaked out a little bit by this absorption here. I got taken out on the very low tick of this move before price rallied. Trying to go to the low side up into this LVN, and full target would have been hit. So 0750 up to about 1250. So 5-point trade. Instead I took 2 small losses. So just a really shitty day overall. Context in read has been excellent, but that doesn't mean that I've been able to execute or take advantage of any of it. So very frustrating to be in that position. Better than having a poor read, but not much, because it still results I'm down 337 today. And I've had some decent equity on a few of my tries as well. You can see too many trades, 2, 2, 4, 6, 7 trades. So this is a really bad day as far as with commissions and stuff. But I had 175, 225, 150 in equity on 3 trades, so which I took basically break even. So 3 break evens, 4 losses. So very unhappy with how I traded today. Maybe done. It's only 11:30, so maybe I'll try to get something into the end of the day, but right now it's just slow. We still do have this weak low down here. I could see us taking this low out at some point, but we'll see how we handle this LVN up here and see if we reverse. Order flow is these sellers down here really haven't made any progress, so they kind of seem like they're fairly exhausted. Looking at this trade, I really need to reinforce how bad of a decision it was to take this off. I mean, in hindsight, obviously, but what happened is this is the limit buying that came in on this move down. So the failure, the low tick here, when we came back to this area, we put in this very large limit buying absorption, and we never revisited it. So my stop at the very low of the move was the test into that volume, and that held. And basically I picked the to the tick low of the so far almost 15-point rally. So read good, context good, as I said. Management piss poor and trying not to lose, which at this rate, this basically ruins my week. And if I don't get anything through the end of the day, it's going to kind of ruin it. And with commissions, especially as many trades as I took today, that also really kills it. So not optimistic as far as how I've traded this whole week, even though I've done well. Not happy with my execution on any level. Trying one more long here into the close. Here's our last trapped big seller, big limit buying and absorption coming in. And this has the potential to come all the way up into 1150, I feel. So that will be my target. It's a pretty optimistic target, but I think it has a chance. We definitely have some selling coming in here. If we can push out these sellers, though, I think it has a pretty good chance of flipping this this order flow. Got some big selling coming in, but I think they're stuck. And there's a pretty nice cascade of order flow that could be hit here. We'll see what happens in this area. I'm liking it. That's a nice little response. Let's see if we can push these guys hard now for a pretty nice reversal. May have a reaction at the 44 round number, but that shouldn't last. If my read is right, we'll see. If not, I'm gonna likely just get a break even. I think we'll definitely see some pretty significant order flow into the close. Stop's got a hold now. This volume needs to hold. And it's not looking like it's going to. It's our last limit seller here. Pretty big volume as well. More limit selling coming in. That's not good. And that's a break even once again. Finishes my day. Definitely wasn't right on the pop up. We never were. This market's been short all day. And that was my read for the majority of the day. Tried to take some counter context trades in there, but not good. Negative 337.50 with 2, 4, 6, 8 tries, 0 wins, 4 losses, all nothing, not very big losses, and definitely some equity. 3 points here, 3 points here, over 4, 4.5 points here, almost 4 points of equity, and I end up with no winners. So a day where I was trying to get the moves, but never really worked out for me, and I missed a lot of fills on the ideas that worked. So pretty much erases my gains for the week. So let's see, I'll go ahead and go back to Monday, especially with all the commissions. Overall, that puts me at 362.50, but with commissions. I mean, so it was still a nice week, but very frustrating overall. But I'm happy overall. You know, if I can have a good positive week with a crappy end of the week, that's not terrible. This is a very long video, and I don't even know if I would ever want to go through it, but I still got to document this. And it's so tempting when I'm in these trades that I need to document them and capture them, because that will help me grow and learn through. Because if I'm uncomfortable even recording the trades, that's probably a pretty good sign that it's possible that I shouldn't be in them. So it's more than just discomfort. I'm trading in bad locations, trades that are against context. So that's it.